So you know how uh, governance is expressed as a form of currency, right? How do you get to the riches is you have to make the proper assessment of asset. You have to make the right evaluation of asset. You have to just basically be able to evaluate asset. And when you're right, then it sets you up in a position to evaluate more other assets. People bring you assets to evaluate them. That sounds like just simplified, like glitch infinite money, right? But look at all this nomenclature, though. What I even said has spells in it. You know what I mean? It's because I said the money is the moon eye, because we know that the only thing that waxes and wanes is the moon and wealth. So what is knowing, right? Because that's something we do, because knowing stuff is not anything that humans does. Humans do something else with like, it's like you define a premise for even uh, you know, deduction or something. Like all these things that happens doesn't happen after the human is after the human anymore. It's only something like a choreactive response to phenomena or something. So I kind of forgot the whole last video. I went off track, and this is attempt number 2 to remember what I was talking about. It's something that happens always. It's like always something that happens on this other podcast. Damn. There's something about like the something radically different based on ideology, how it comes off to an individual from one to the next. The variability, it could be extreme. So like do we have this wherewithal to navigate in between, understanding different nomenclatures, trying to arrive at the best form of expression, how to express governance. And your vote is your volt currency. Your voting expressed as governance. We already know that humans are going to fuck up every system. Like the fact that you even have systems implies that it's to keep humans from fucking it up. Like a fail-safe system or firewall set up against invasive operating systems. Invasive intrusion. Different how you different ways to arrive at defining what has intrusive nature, because something about nature always employs a thin attractive veneer to mask and all that is detestable and hideous, and where the concentration of that which is repugnant, detestable, and hideous is there more subtle, attractive bends and curves, and a thin, like almost illustrious a veneer. That's skin. That's what skin is. There's like talk about this in the 22 degrees of Malta. If there's like the eye of the apple and the shell of the lowly body is all that a man has. And they're talking about fucking physicisms. subatomic fields of energy bending, curving, and that sort of gets condensed into matter, and light slows down to make sound, which slows down again to make matter, which slows down again to make aroma, all traveling out on the wave patterns. This sounds like some new age, but this is some science. This is my scientisms. Those are some of my scientisms. I have a few scientisms. I can't remember them all right now. I can bring them out. I can just kind of eke it out. Kind of cooks with these tales of, I don't know, the tales of the Cryptopias. It's a necropolis. So we need Cryptopia to save the necropolis. This is to be a new NFT narrative. Jesus. Only thing is, it's like all of the other narratives in the NFTs are the same. It doesn't mean they won't work. It doesn't mean that somebody won't find something they like in one of them. It just seems like they all have like the same. I don't know. That's why, like, it's a different. It's a whole different ecology of ideas, because like you can tell who's like a huckster now. At this point, you can tell who's a rug puller because they're excited about the wrong shit, and we know it's the same shit. And you actually are supposed to be excited about it, except that the way that people refer to it or talk about it, it's just be like it's just be like tell you like, oh, because it kind of diminishes your ideas because they're kind of based on the same thing, but it's trustless based, peer-to-peer, immutable, transparent, supposedly, because the transparency of the blockchain does not mean that the company that makes the NFT is completely transparent. It's just that there is a certain amount of transparency from using blockchain, just like all forms of government are perfect on the blockchain and they all work perfectly. It's just the humans that can't have their governance expressed in your vote being contained in your vault and all one and the same. They can't do it. You need delegates, and that's what an API node or something like an API, which is like informed by oracles, block on private blockchains, and like there's like not just public but private blockchains and stuff. So I mean, I know this is nothing new and everything, but do you know that the linguistics of some of these like platforms for like such as stable coins or metaverses are kind of live and die by the same like rank and file system of the astral plane deities and stuff. It's almost like they know what you're doing if you come out with something named this or named that before we release something that's supposed to do that and that. The JED, they talk. The Cardano had was it a stable coin that was like it was a certain kind of stable coin, and they had to rethink it and re-release it for the other platforms like DeFi system ecosystems like Gongguan. I don't know how to say it. Shelly. these like liquidity pools things. Libra token didn't come out because Justin Sun was gonna release another something called Venus. Even the stablecoin himself is not really a stablecoin because it's not backed by a buoyant elastic basket of currencies that is completely like buoyant and elastic, right? That is no single point of failure, basically, because it will automatically like balance itself out with every other form of currency or value that there is. It'll diverse and consolidate itself, like based on a perfect system of program. Like somebody fucking can evaluate assets almost and let this fucking thing do it, you know. So that's why, even though we don't have AI, there's still a lot of interest in AI. It's like humans still don't have AI. We have a platform for like an augmented type of directed acyclic graph thing. Like it's what's a computer that learns? So it's like a learning computer, but it's not AI. Like we just call this shit that, you know what I mean? For like there's all these metaverses before, now nobody's talking about metaverses. Why is that? Because I mean, there's metaverses that don't even have monitor screens. You don't even have to have a monitor, you know, to look at it, you know. So to see it, it's like only for Internet of Things, which is like low power devices that run automation. So it's not even for human. But then you have like politicians passing vague overarching legislation that's afraid of end-over-end encryption. It's designed to be fucking the answer to whatever end-over-end encryption can offer towards the Overton window, that they can just refit it and revamp it, and they keep popping it up for a crisis. But it's really designed to attack your emails and shit like that. And this Lindsey Graham shit, we should find out what's in Lindsey Graham's emails, because somebody found like one of his, he wanted to change his phone number, so he got a new phone. So his old phone, and like they seized upon his phone real quick and make sure everything is like, you know, in the chain of command for you to even look at it. But everybody's interested and want to see what's on Lindsey Graham's phone. Those are the people that are afraid of unelected delegates, and they don't understand that that's a technology. It has nothing to do with humans. It's just code. It's fucking math. It's a trustless, non-human, peer-to-peer backed fucking platform for fucking it's like it's basically pegged to the Shaw 256 satellite encryption algorithm or something like that, of these pre-mined tokens. It's all pegged. I don't even have to say anything new that people don't already know. Just there's some games that people play that's because they can't do anything about a new technology, like, you know. And they, if you talk about it, you must be trying to sell it. You know how much, I don't even have Bitcoin right now. I saw this talking, I don't have it right. It already helped me to set up different NFT platforms, which is my interest in it. It did help me financially along the way, and now I'm hoping that that something else works. Yeah, just hoping that something else that I'm trying works. You know, because the amount that you have to reinvest into Bitcoin after it's successful and you do everything that you need for it to do, it's not going to be, unless you're, you know, have another what's it called, a provident form of stable income, which now I don't. If I did, then you could say I was a fool for not buying Bitcoin right now. Shit. But I'm right about evaluating assets, but I have other different forms of assets that are more non-fungible. So, I mean, everybody knows what happened to the NFT market. It tanked and everything. But there's things that you know, just, I don't know. I don't want to show off or anything. But like Gala's doing fine, even though it is passed through a whole wave of FUD and they're fine. That looks good. You know what I mean? It's like something before an asset evaluates higher that makes you want to sell it off and get rid of it fast. You don't wonder why the fuck you have it. Why do I have this fucking quant firm fucking ERC20? Like, you get rid of it and fucking struggled to offload it because you're fucking with your firmware or something. In the time it takes to reprogram your firmware and fucking, oh, I gotta go back home and I forgot this, like, to log in. Then the shit can 10x, and they're like, there's no thing informing me whatsoever about that. I just happened to get lucky, you know, because that's part of it, because whatever you start out intending to do is probably not the thing that is going to end up doing that's going to work. It's probably something else that you, so, and if whatever works, it's not going to be the same the next time, because, you know, because you don't understand the dynamic of the economic, the it's like trade wins, the winds of trade, the winds of, yeah, you sound like a Minnie Riperton song or something.